We have some major breaking news that has been announced that Carl Edwards will be joining Amazon Prime as a studio analyst in 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, we had some pretty massive and major breaking news this morning as it has been officially announced that Carl Edwards will be joining Amazon Prime as an analyst for the studio in 2025. This was reported by Jordan Bianchi a couple minutes ago. He reports, Carl Edwards joining Prime Video's NASCAR broadcast team. I'm excited about racing again. Jordan Bianchi reports since he unexpectedly retired from NASCAR after the 2016 season, Carl Edwards has been the white whale that the league television partners have sought to put in front of the camera. Overturn he's long decline, but 9 years after walking away from the sport, Carl Edwards is making a leap into the television studio. He reports that Edwards is joining Amazon Prime Video as a pre- and post-race studio analyst when the streaming platform begins its 5-race Cup Series broadcast schedule May 25th with the Coco 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, a NASCAR Crown Jewel event. He says, the thing I'm excited about and I feel like I can hopefully accomplish is to get to talk a little bit about, especially since I'm not competing anymore, I got nothing to hide. There's no trade secrets I don't want to talk about, Edwards said in her interview. I want to share with the fans what might be going on inside of the helmet, inside of that car. I want to ask the drivers before, after, maybe away from the track, what's going on? What is really driving you? What are your fears? What are your hopes? What are the difficulties? What are the things that you're so good at that maybe aren't obvious for someone that just watching the racing? Prime Video signing the notoriously private Edwards is seen as a coup. This is absolutely huge. Now, I remember Jenna Fryer reporting this, I think, back at the end of last year, going into when it was announced that Carl Edwards was going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. The Carl Edwards have been interested in maybe getting behind the wheel of the number 5 car, maybe because Kyle Larson has said that he's been interested in maybe getting Kyle Larson by the 5 car when he does in the broadcast, of course, for the Indy 500, when Kyle Larson, of course, is going to be running the Indy 500. But one thing that Jenna Fryer had brought up during the NASCAR Hall of Fame day was that there was a really good chance and possibly that Carl Edwards was going to be back in the sport as a television broadcast partner. He's never said that he was going to come back maybe as a driver or even do testing for the number 5 car for Hendrick Motorsports, but he's been interested, and Jenna has said that they were talking about bringing him in the booth. He's going to be in the same position as people like Corey LaJoie and Daniel Trotta. So you're going to have the pre- and post-race studio. You're going to have Daniel Trotta, who is going to be the host. You're going to have Corey LaJoie, who's going to be part of the pre-race and post-race show as well. And you're going to have Carl Edwards, who is going to be joining. When I've heard Carl Edwards in the booth, he has done an exceptional and really, really good job. And I think he's going to be able to provide some really strong and really good analysts. And I think, because we heard him in the booth a couple years ago in 2023 during NASCAR's 75th anniversary event at Darlington, he came back and he sounded like natural, like he hadn't left the sport, even though he'd been gone for 6 or 7 years. And he's been gone for a long time. But we've known that Carl Edwards has shown some interest and has been wanting to come back in the sport in some way, shape, or form. He's been back to try out more of these tracks as of recently. And while he's not going to get back behind the wheel of a race car like many of us are hoping at the moment, though I'd still hope one day maybe he does get back behind the wheel of a race car, I think it's pretty awesome to see that he is going to have the chance and opportunity to join the Amazon Prime team in 2025. He's going to be working with people like Dale Jr. He's actually going to be on a Dale Jr. download this week, which I think is kind of a coincidence with that being announced this week. He's going to be on there. He's also going to join Steve Tarp and Adam Alexander, 2 people who've done a really good job in a broadcast. So you're going to have an all-star lineup of people on the pre-race and the post-race show, and also in the main broadcast booth with Amazon this year. They have not announced who the pit reporters are going to be. I would not be surprised if Kimmy Kuhn is involved because she's done the stuff with the CW. She's probably going to be back with NBC this year. I would not be surprised if she's doing pit road stuff. But I would not be surprised if they try to court maybe Marty Smith to get involved. I know Marty Smith's been rumored to be part in some way, shape, or form with Amazon. They were talking about maybe making him the person who was the analyst, so I would have to think he's going to be involved on the pit road side of things. Maybe Shannon Spake gets involved. Shannon Spake doesn't have any gigs currently at the moment with TNT. I know she's done the stuff with NASCAR, so I'd have to think she's probably going to get involved in some way, shape, or form because she's no longer with Fox after being there for the last 6 or 7 years. But I'm really intrigued to see who else they're going to be having with with Amazon in 2025. But what I'm so excited about is the fact that Carl Edwards is back in NASCAR in some way, shape, or form on a broadcast side of things. Of course, he just got inducted to the NASCAR Hall of Fame recently for all of his accomplishments, and now he can accomplish a lot behind a broadcast booth in 2025. Now, it's unknown how many years he's going to be part of the Amazon broadcast because that contract does go through 2031, and I think maybe down the road, we could see him go from being in the studio maybe up to the broadcast booth, which I think that is something that I think could happen down the road. And I think it's really exciting to see that someone like Carl Edwards, who's accomplished a lot in the sport and outside the sport, someone who brings a lot of charisma, someone who brings a lot of intelligence, someone talks about fitness among other things, which is something that's so important for drivers nowadays. I think it's just a huge moment for the sport to see someone like Carl Edwards, who's been gone for so long, come back to the sport in some way, shape, or form. And I am looking forward to see what he's going to bring to the table in 2025 in the broadcast booth. This is an absolute huge day for the sport as a whole, and I think it's pretty great to see he'll be part of the booth in some way, shape, or form. Now, could we see other people join up? Could we see a four-man pre-race studio? Could we see someone like a Kurt Busch who, while he's not coming back to the sport as a driver, he's been back behind a little race cars recently with the Race of Champions, where I think he beat Sebastian Vettel in a Race of Champions race not too long ago, which is pretty big, like Carl Edwards did in 2008 against Michael Schumacher. But I think this is a really huge deal for the broadcast as a whole. And I think, like I said, Carl Edwards is going to bring a lot to the table. And I think at Amazon Prime, they've got an all-star lineup for this year. And I think that some of the people from Amazon, we already know, of course, that Adam Alexander, Steve Letardale Jr. are going to be doing the broadcast for TNT. I do think that some of the people from Amazon, like Daniel Trotta, like a Carl Edwards, could end up on the TNT side of things in some way, shape, or form. We're just going to have to see what other people do end up getting announced for these broadcasts down the road. But I think it's absolutely amazing to see that Carl Edwards is going to be back in a broadcast in some way, shape, or form. And I think it's cool that he will get to join the broadcast booth with Amazon Prime in 2025. This is amazing. I've been a Carl Edwards fan for many, many years. I think many of you know how much I've talked about him on this channel. But I think it's awesome to see that Carl Edwards is going to be back with Amazon, joining up at Amazon this year. Glad to see he'll be joining up with the Amazon Prime team in 2025. I think he's going to do a really good job as a studio analyst this year. Can't wait to see what insight he is going to bring to the table with Amazon Prime in the 2025 NASCAR season. Excited to see what he can provide to the booth. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news report on Carl Edwards. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go below that and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. How do you think Carl Edwards is going to do in the Amazon Prime booth? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And what pit reporters would you like to see be part of the Amazon Prime broadcast? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I should be having the Truck Series race picks drop tomorrow on the channel. I'm going to push it out on tomorrow. I'm also going to have the Xfinity Series race picks dropping tomorrow as well. There should also be a NASCAR news video dropping on the channel, which will come out a little bit after the Truck Series race picks comes out. Then on Thursday, I'm going to have the NASCAR Cup Series race picks dropping. I'm also going to have the paint scheme video dropping as well. Then on Friday, we'll have a NASCAR news video wrapping everything up over the course of the last couple days. And we've got a lot of really good content on people like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch coming out, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, the 2311 and Front Row Motorsports lawsuit, Connor Zilish, Junior Motorsports, stuff on Dodge, Honda potentially, baby talk by Amazon Prime again, Mr.Beast, all the good stuff, Sam Mayershaw, the Creed House Factory team, you name it, we'll talk about all that on the channel in the coming days and weeks. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.